The latest JNCIP-SP Certification JN0-663 Dumps are newly updated to help you pass your service provider routing and switching professional JNCIP-SP exam easily. It contains real JN0-663 questions and answers to take your Juniper JN0-663 exam confidently. Questions 1. Which two statements regarding Ethernet segments S are correct? Choose 2. A. The Type 1 EVPN route will indicate if the S is all active or single active. B. The Type 4 EVPN route will be used to elect the designated forwarder for the S. C. The Type 2 EVPN route will indicate if there is a designated forwarder on the S. D. The Type 3 EVPN route will be used for the aliasing function to load balance to the S. Answer: A, C. Questions 2. What information is stored in a VRF table for a BGP Layer 2 VPN? Choose 3. A. Layer 2 encapsulation. B. Local site ID. C. Remote interface of local CE device. D. Logical interlace provisioned to local CE device. E. Label switched path. Answer: Abed. Questions 3. You want to allow the load balancing of traffic for an eBGP route from two different peers in the same as. Which 3 actions are needed to accomplish this task? Choose 3. A. A policy to load balance traffic should be applied to the forwarding table. B. At least 2 interfaces should be connected to the same eBGP neighbor. C. The multi-hop parameter should be configured under protocols BGP. D. The multipath parameter should be configured under protocols BGP. E. An equal cost as path for the route is required. Answer: A, D, E. Questions 4. What is the purpose of the duster list attribute within a BGP route reflector group? A. To disable internal cluster re-advertisements. B. To define the router that first advertised the route to the route reflector. C. To override the router 10 value within the cluster. D. To facilitate loop detection within the route reflector network. Answer: D. Questions 5. You are deploying a new EVPN service for your customers. You must build the service based on the following requirements. Both Layer 2 and Layer 3 functionality must be supported. Your customers must be able to support multiple VLANs in the same EVPN instance, EV. In this scenario, which 2 types of routing instances should be configured? Choose 2. A. VRF. B. Virtual switch. C. Virtual router. D. EVPN. Answer: BA. Question 6. What occurs when a router running is receives an LSP with the overload bit set? A. The LSP is not added to the link state database. B. The LSP-S metric will be set to 65,535. C. The LSP is ignored during SPF calculation. D. The LSP's metric will be set to 16,777,215. Answer. C. Question 7. Which two statements are correct about opaque LSAs in OSPF? Choose 2. A. Type 9 LSAs are used for graceful restart and have link local scope. B. Type 11 LSAs are used for MPLS label exchange and have link local scope. C. Type 10 LSAs are used for MPLS traffic engineering and have area scope. D. Type 11 LSAs are used for MPLS traffic engineering and have area scope. Answer. AC. Questions 8. Which two statements about wide and narrow metrics used in ISAs are correct? Choose 2. A. Wide metrics are sent by default and use 24 bits in TLVs to send information. B. Narrow metrics are enabled by default and use 8 bits in TLVs to send information. C. Disabling narrow metrics results in external routes being leaked from L1 to L2 areas automatically. D. Wide metrics are enabled with the wide-metrics- or .ly parameter under protocols as hierarchy. Answer. AC. Questions 9. Which two statements about virtual links are correct? Choose 2. A. Virtual links are used for control plane traffic. B. Virtual links are point-to-point. C. Virtual links are excluded from SPF calculations. D. Virtual links are bidirectional. Answer. A. B. Questions 10. What are 2 reasons an IBGP learned route would be hidden? Choose 2. A. The route is suppressed by damping. B. The route has a next hop of the local routing device. C. The route is rejected by an export policy. D. The route has an empty as path. Answer. A. B.